Welcome back to Changfied YouTube channel, your trusted source for latest updates across South Sudan and beyond. In this report, we have two very important stories. First, we talk about security in Jonglei state. The government forces say they have recaptured town, but the big question is, can they keep those towns peacefully? Second, we'll talk about Parliament want the Central Bank of South Sudan to start paying civil servants directly to stop salary delay. Before we begin with this report, please help the channel by subscribing and turn on the notification bell, so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Let's begin our report with security situation in Jonglei beyond the battlefield. Recently, fighting started again in part of Jonglei state, especially in area connected to the greater Lone Nur community. Government force SSPDF, the South Sudan People Defense Forces, reported that they have taken back control of some town from forces linked to the Sudan People Liberation Army in opposition, SPLA-IO under first by President Dr. Machar. This sounds like a military success, but we must ask an important question. In this long-term solution, is this long-term solution, or is it just another short moment in a long cycle of conflict? If we look at the story of South Sudan, we see something very clear. Many towns that are fighting today were once controlled by the government for many years. Soldiers were present, flags were raised, officials were working there. But later, control changed. This shows us something important. Holding land with gun is not the same as building lasting peace. Territory can change, and true stability takes more than military power. Let us talk about something many people do not think about: logistics. Jonglei is not an easy place. During the dry season, road can be used, truck can move, supply can arrive. But when the rainy season comes, everything changes. Road floods, vehicles get stuck, some areas become completely cut off. Imagine soldiers stationed in a town. What happens if food does not arrive? What happens if medicine run out? What happens if fuel cannot reach them? Holding a town without supply is like trying to survive without water. If the SSPDF does not prepare before heavy rain, they may struggle to stay in those areas. Military presence needs strong planning. But logistics is not the biggest issue here. The big issue is something deeper. It is legitimacy. Military control does not mean people accept you. If local communities do not feel safe, respected, and included, control will remain weak. In Greater Lone Nur area, identity and history matter a lot. People remember past conflict. They remember who protected them and who harmed them. If civilians see government forces as protector who bring peace, reopen school and support market, then trust can slowly grow within those places. But if civilians feel afraid or ignored, opposition group can return quietly. Control is not just about soldiers on the street, it is about what happened in daily life. Real control look like this. Market open again. Trader move freely. A school began classes. Health center provide medicine. Local leader return to work, and families work without fear. If these things are not happening, then control is only on paper. During the day, soldiers may stand in the town center, but at night, fear may still exist. True stability is when civilians feel safe, even without seeing soldiers. There's also a national issue. South Sudan signed peace agreement, but many parts of those agreements are still not fully implemented. Security sector reform are slow. Some army groups still exist separately. Political mistrust continue. As long as these problems remain, territorial fighting may continue. Military action alone cannot solve political disagreement. The real question is not whether SSPDF, South Sudan People Defense Force, can send troops. The real question is, can the government turn military control into good governance? History shows something clear. Force can take territory, but only trust can keep it. Lasting peace needs political inclusion, a strong institution, community engagement, and honest leadership. If those things do not happen today, victory can become tomorrow's retreat. If the government truly wants long-term peace in Jonglei, it must think beyond guns. Raising a flag in a town center is symbolic, but stability is measured differently. It is measured by safety, services, trust, and reduced tension. If these conditions are not built, control may become seasonal. Strong in dry month, weak in rainy season, or in rain month. The difference between temporary occupation and lasting peace is governance, and governance requires listening to the people. Take a moment and tell me in the comment, do you think military action alone can bring lasting peace? Or does South Sudan need a deeper political solution? Now let us move to second story. Parliament wants central bank to pay civil servant directly. Now we move to Juba. Members of the Transitional National Legislative Assembly are discussing a new idea. They want the central bank to directly pay government workers. This proposal was raised by Dr. Lual Ashwek, who lead a subcommittee on economic policy in Parliament. Many civil servants in South Sudan face delayed salaries. Teachers wait, doctor waits, police officer wait. Some go months without pay. This creates frustration and hardship. What makes it more confusing is this. Government revenue has reportedly been higher than expected. So people are asking, if revenue is coming in, why are salaries late? Dr. Achwek suggested something called an irrevocable standing order. A revocable standing order, in simple terms, this means at the end of every month, the Central Bank of South Sudan, not the Ministry of Finance, would directly send salaries into workers' account. If a worker has completed biometric registration, their money should arrive automatically. No delay, no paperwork, excuses, no payment slip without real money, actual cash in the account. Another proposal is that the Ministry of Public Service should review the payroll every 3 months. If someone has died or left service, their name should be removed. This is meant to stop ghost workers and reduce waste. If payroll is clean and transparent, payment can be easier. Let's look at the bigger economic issues. However, there is another challenge. Agri Tisa Sabuni from the South Sudan Revenue Authority explained that the Bank of South Sudan faces a liquidity problem. In simple words, the central bank does not have enough foreign currency reserve. Why? Because of how oil money is managed. South Sudan depends heavily on oil. In the past, oil was sold through a marketing committee. Foreign currency would first come to the government and then be managed properly. But change in oil management may have reduced the amount of dollar reaching the central bank. Without foreign reserve, the central bank struggles. And when the central bank struggles, the whole economy feels it. Another important point raised was this. Domestic transactions should be done in South Sudanese pound, not in dollar. If suppliers and vendors are paid in foreign currency, it weakens the local currency. The suggestion is, let the government first receive and benefit from oil revenue or oil dollars. Let the central bank build reserve and then strengthen the national currency. Interestingly, Dr. Achug also admitted that Parliament itself sometimes failed to fully exercise oversight. That means lawmakers may not always have pressured the government strongly enough. This shows some level of honesty. But citizens will want action, not just word. Why this matter to ordinary people in South Sudan? Salary delays affect real life. When teachers are unpaid, classrooms suffer. When medical workers are unpaid, hospitals suffer. And when police are unpaid, security suffer. Fixing salary payment is not just about economic. It is about dignity. It is about trust between the government and its workers. Here is my final thought on the economy. If the central bank began paying civil servants directly, it could reduce delay. But for this to work, oil revenue management must improve. Foreign reserve must be strengthened. Transparency must increase. Otherwise, the system will still face pressure. If you are new here, please to Changfied YouTube channel. Make sure you support the channel by subscribing and turn on the notification bell. So whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Thank you for watching and bye-bye.